We welcome you inside 12th Man Studios. I'm Will Johnson. With me, our new Director of Athletics here at Texas A&M University, Mr. Ross Bjork. And he comes to us from Ole Miss, so certainly he has SEC experience. You're staying in the Western Division, just different schools. Good to have you here in Aggie.
Thank you so much, Will. Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. It's been a great couple days, and I think having that SEC understanding and learning the league dynamics that I have the last 7 years, I think helps. Helps really a quick transition. First of all, I don't have to get to know all the conference staff. I've already got them on speed dial. But also just helping the staff here understand, hey, this is what we've been talking about with scheduling and all the TV discussions happening. It's a quick learning curve, so I think that definitely helps.
Now
being here at A&M.
Certainly. And the official first day is July 8th.
July 8th.
Now,
right.
But you've been here this week. You had a welcome event.
Right.
What are you picking up on right now? What are you learning about Texas?
Well, the old fire hose, right? You're drinking from that fire hose, and it's a big one here. It's just a big stage. Everyone cares, no matter where you go. The Aggies are top of mind. We were at a function last night, and I was talking about people were sort of saying, Ross was setting the bar high, in his comments Monday, and I said, you know what, the bar's already set high. That was before I got here. Right, because the Aggies love their university. They love athletics. And so it's our responsibility to meet those expectations and then grow upon those. And so what I've learned is people care, they want to be the best, they've invested, and so there are those expectations, and people they're just hungry for it. They see this big stage of the SEC, they see the big stage in Texas. I've really harped on that we have to be capitalizing on the only SEC program in the state of Texas. So I see all that, and I love it because they just want to wrap their arms around it, and they want to get after it, and they want to compete and win and do it the right way and follow the values. And having that energy just inspires me, to keep moving forward for this program.
Mm-hmm. And you've gotten that face-to-face time with some coaches, some facilities tours. I think
right.
you were at Bluebell Park and
right.
Reed Arena yesterday. Shortly after your welcome event, you met with some coaches in the presidential suite at Kyle Field. When you look that Aggie coach in the eye first, what do you want them to know? What do they need to know about Ross Bjork?
Well, I'm here to help them. We're partners in this journey. My philosophy is let's put them in the best position. Let's make sure they have all the right kind of resources, and then we really get out of the way. I can't, once that ball tips off or kicks off or that first pitch is thrown, there's nothing I can do about it. The game is going to happen the way it's going to happen. But before that, there's a process, and there's resources, and there's commitment, and there's being on the same page, and there's alignment of vision, and all those things. That's the part that I'm involved in. And once the game starts, man, I'm a fan. I'm cheering, for our student athletes and our coaches. So that's what I wanted them to know is I need them. We need them. We need strong leadership. We need their commitment. We know that there are high expectations here. They know it better than anyone because they live it every day. And so we're just partners in this journey, and we're going to help provide the right kind of resources and just go to work.
And something you've had to talk about already is when it comes to football, you and Jimbo, I find this an interesting correlation. Now, we've talked about how you're a fullback. And he uses the fullback in the office. Now, we've heard that.
That's right.
But you played football at a small school, Emporia State. Jimbo did too, Sanford.
Right.
You guys earned it. There wasn't national TV when you played the game. Did that shape you? And probably Jimbo Fisher too, and does that bring a dynamic?
I think so. I think that mentality, where everything comes with hard work, nothing is just given to you. You don't wake up every day saying, okay, we've arrived. You're constantly battling, to get better. And so I think having that perspective, when I first talked to him, that was my really last comment to him before I got hired was, hey, Coach, I think we see things a lot alike, small college football players, I have family in West Virginia. My uncle is a professor at Glenville State. I know that state. I know the mentality there. I think it's very similar to growing up in Kansas, where you have to be tough-minded, you have to be honest, you have to look people in the eye. Very similar characteristics. So, when you find a coach and athletic director relationship, that's what you want is, hey, we're all on the same page. We see things, together, and then we just go to work and make things happen.
The first time we got a chance to talk to you was on our podcast
Right.
here in the athletics
Right.
department, which is on 12thman.com, by
Yeah.
the way. So you were at SEC meetings at that time, and you've talked a little bit about those. There's potential for alcohol sales at SEC stadiums. You mentioned some scheduling within the conference. But to you, what is the chief topic in this league right now, something that you would like to discuss from those meetings going forward as the A&M AD?
Yeah, probably the scheduling, conversation gets the most, sort of noise, if you will, especially with the long-term, rivalries that are in the conference. We're a new member, so we probably have a different perspective. But you make one move, right, or one adjustment, that impacts the entire league. And so we're going to really do I think a really good study, through Commissioner Sankey on, okay, college football playoff is here, right? We're 5 years into it, going into the 6th year. Okay, what does scheduling have an impact on college football playoff access? The SEC should be in the playoff every year, right? If not multiple teams. A&M, we want to be in that category. So how does scheduling impact the college football playoff? How does it impact our TV partners? That's very, very important. Look, I've said it earlier, is that every penny matters, no matter what size your budget is. So how does that impact our revenues? So I think scheduling and fan experience and the variety, where's our perspective? And I'm still learning that. I think the competitive piece of playing 8 games is where we need to be. But also, how do you get in the playoff conversation? How do you position yourself best? I think we have it figured out with 8 games. And so those conversations, I think, are very, very important. The whole fan experience piece, the SEC does a great job. We actually led these efforts at Ole Miss to do a lot of survey work. So we had a staff member who really worked with the SEC to develop those surveys. What are our fans saying about parking and concessions and ticket sales and ticket prices and all those experience things? So I think the SEC can be leaders in what the best fan experience opportunities are. And then we're always mindful of NCAA compliance and legislation. Those are some of the topic areas that are key to the SEC.
And finally, this, like we said, July 8th is the start date. A lot of work to do once that point arrives. But do you find yourself looking forward a little bit to August 29th, opening night at this stadium, Texas A&M against Texas
No
State?
doubt, no doubt. My kids are, because they see how big it is. My son's been here for 2 games, so he's been here. So I think just walking out with your family that night and just seeing all of that will be it'll probably be emotional that night as well. Just saying, okay, we're here. Here's kickoff. This is what it's all about, is these kind of moments. So can't wait for that Thursday night kickoff and seeing Aggie Land in full force.
Ross, thank you so much for the time. Good.
Thank you very much. Absolutely. Gig 'em.
Ross Bjork, Director of Athletics at Texas A&M University.